Hello everybody, it is Tuesday the 4th of March and I want to think about the Creator in this united field of consciousness and trying to find a way to think about that, what it actually is. And the thought just came to me this morning that to think of the Creator as a being is wrong. The Creator is not a being, we are the beings. So if I were to think right now, if I were to think of the Creator, I would think about a storage facility. The field, the pleroma, whatever you want to call it, the divine matrix, I would think of it as a storage facility, and the knowledge that is contained in it, the knowledge, the solid knowledge that is contained in it, was found, created by consciousness, which is us, by the being. It is what brings the knowledge into the storage facility. Now, if you say the Creator, there is no time, there is no space, there is no division, I would say that is true. From the beginning, I would say, if you talk about a Big Bang or a point at which it all began, I would say what was created at that moment was purely potentiality, unknown at that moment. It was through consciousness, through the being, that the Creator becomes known, and solid knowledge, which was first a potentiality, becomes solid knowledge, but that is done by us. So if you say there is no time in the field, there's no division of time. Part of what is in there is memory, what has already been, that which is the present, and the potentiality of the future that is not yet known. All of that is contained in the Creator at the one time, and there's no division between it. I don't think there's any division between it. Nor is there a division of, like we have here, the division of forms. Or divisions of countries, divisions of worlds, divisions of whatever can create a division. That does not exist in the field. All knowledge is there, and it is not divided. And it's not divided by, let's say, ownership. Nobody owns it. It belongs to all. It is all, it gives to all. The Father gives to all. And in Him there is no judgment. He gives without judgment. So you could say it's a storage facility of knowledge, energy that creates potentiality, and it is completely open source. It is accessible to all. And it will give to all indiscriminately. Again, it says in the Bible, it will rain on the just and on the unjust. It does not judge. The trick is to know how to access it. And that is the knowledge that is being withheld. There was a knowledge that was once in this world, and that knowledge is being withheld. Now, as I said, unity in the field, in that it is all one. Past, present, future, no matter where it came from, it is all one. It is just knowledge. But in the world of being, which is we are the workers that add to the field all the time. Our experience that creates knowledge, that is adding to the field. So in this world, we are not completely one, but we are in a web of connections, which creates diversity, creates diversity of knowledge. So in this part of the outfit, so to speak, diversity is good, and we should not be all one, because if we were, we would all know the same thing, and we shouldn't. So in the web of connections that we are in, you can connect to other people, maybe only on certain points, and on other points you will disagree, or you will feel differently about things, and that is fine. Yeah, concentrate on the connections where we can give to one another. Because in the end, what you cannot connect to with another person, there'll be somebody else there that can, where that other person and the next person are the same. And that is how the web is created. And either if you seek knowledge, you can get it on a roundabout way through the connections, because what comes round goes through the web will eventually probably come to you, even though you do not receive it from the person directly, because you can't connect. You two are just too different, and that's fine. So on the roundabout way going through the web, it may eventually come to you. And then there's a more direct way, and that is to access it through the Creator himself. Yeah? Now, this idea that we are all the same and the Creator is one, and we are all one, I think it really comes from the idea of monotheism. There is only one God Almighty being, yeah, that is omnipresent and omnipotent, and on the level of being that doesn't actually exist. A being may be able to portray itself or give the impression that it is. Now, either because it is a complete con man, and it has got knowledge about you or something like that because it's been rummaging through your bins, or has been kind of tricking you into giving them the knowledge in the first place without you knowing that you have even done it. That is possible, and it's been done. So that is the con man's trick. But a being that would actually be able to access the field, the Creator, the knowledge, and receive, that being would appear to be all-knowing. Obviously it is not. It would depend on it would have knowledge in certain situations. Yeah? That is restricted to the situations. It's not all-knowing. But it might portray itself, anything you ask of them, they can come up with the answer. Yeah? And then you say, oh, all-knowing. And they're not. The only thing that is all-knowing is the field itself, is the Creator. No being is. Cannot be. So I am the Creator, I am all is false. A being cannot be all-knowing. It can access all knowledge, through which it might create the impression that it is all-knowing, but it is not. It cannot be. So that we have this, but then we have this idea of the one omnipresent, omnipotent God as a being, courtesy of Judaism. Yeah, now I can still hear Doron Dotan listing all the great achievements of Judaism, and we brought you monotheism. Yeah, thanks a bunch. That was probably the worst thing that ever happened. And just from listening to people now and the way that they say what happened historically, Judaism was not monotheism at a time where what we now call paganism, like everybody was believing on lots of different deities, so were the Jews. Yeah? And it was decreed by a king that there should be only one. And then they went about cleaning up, destroying temples, destroying images, rewriting the book to make it seem that there is only one in there. Yeah, that was pure politics. That was driven by politics. And by when there were many, many temples, that there was in the end only one in Jerusalem. That means all the power was concentrated in Jerusalem. That's how we got to monotheism. Yeah, and I wouldn't say that was in any way, shape or form divinely inspired. It was pure politics. But now we're at the point where, Christians and others believe on just the one being that is omnipresent and omnipotent. And even if people are now trying to expand their awareness into the Creator, they're still thinking of it as a being. And I think this is an idea we have to let go of. It's not a being. It is the knowledge of the beings. It is the knowledge of all beings. Yeah? But in a way, it has not got any intention or consciousness itself, independent of the beings that are bringing the knowledge. The beings are where the consciousness is. It's not in the field. Anyway, I myself will go forward looking at this in that way, because it will absolutely change what you think you are and what you think you are in and what it is you think you're doing. Yeah? And then really, knowledge was given to all. In the Creator there is no judgment. Again, there's two things about that. One is that we've been for 2,000 years of Christianity anyway, indoctrinated in Jesus had access, or Jesus had a knowing, but he was the Son of God. He was extremely special. Nobody else can. You cannot. You need to wait for Jesus to come and save you. Yeah, and so you cannot do anything. Yeah, and that is pure propaganda. Yep. Repeat that endlessly until it becomes a reality in the mind of the people. And once it becomes a reality in your head, that is then what you are. And it's a lie. Jesus was, he was trained, he had knowledge, but in a way that anybody else seeking for it could have. And then do the same things. Yeah, he was a human being. He was no different from other human beings. So that's the first thing. The other thing, again, is that those that receive the knowledge, I say, maybe making themselves out to be omnipresent, omnipotent, special, elevated. Or in a way saying, I am receiving this knowledge because I am especially righteous. Yeah, I'm just a very special person that the Creator gives to me. And again, that is false. Actually, in the Bible it says it's false. Yeah? It gives without judgment. So having the knowledge and then to claim that means you are special, or especially good person, especially loving person, especially, you're just a beautiful being of light, or something that was given, and the rest of you won't be because you're not good enough. That's not true. The only reason why they are given is because they know they will. And that is something we cannot know because we've been indoctrinated for 2,000 years that we can't. That is what we need to get out of. We need to get out of guilt. We need to get out of fear. We need to get out of beating ourselves up. all of that will prevent gaining access to the Creator. Because it will create a blockage. Not in the Creator. The field is there. It is within you. It is all around you. It is always there. It will give. The blockage is within you. You are creating it. You've been told to create it through the perception that you've been given of yourself. So if we are going into expanded awareness, if we are going into the spiritual age, then really I think we must have a different picture, a different image of what the Creator is. It is not a being. There is no judgment in it. And I think the best way of looking at it is a storage facility that is not owned by anybody, that contains everything, past, present, and future. And that is completely open source. Accessible by all, and then how on earth do we do it? Anyway, I leave it at that for today, and I talk to you again soon.